My name is Elias Kale, surveyor for the Interstellar Cartography Guild. I had crossed a dozen sectors, catalogued worlds stripped bare by radiation, and walked landscapes untouched for eons. Wonder in my profession was dangerous. It slowed the hand, blurred the focus. But this was wonder incarnate. She moved closer, her steps soundless across crystalline sand. I lifted my wrist console, scanning her, but the readout returned nothing. No atmospheric trace, no energy pattern, no biological markers. As if the instruments refused to admit her existence. She spoke, though her lips did not move. The words formed directly in my mind, clear and soft. You do not belong here. My throat dried. Neither do you, I said before reason could stop me. A silence stretched, filled only by the low hum of the planet's winds. Then, unexpectedly, her lips curved. Not quite a smile, more an acknowledgement. Perhaps that is why we meet. Middle. Discovery. The days that followed became a blur of defiance against everything I had been trained to do. Instead of returning to the ship, I lingered. She appeared often, always near the crystal canyons, never venturing far. I learned that she communicated in thought images. Colors, impressions, feelings wrapped in fragments of words. Her name, as close as my mind could shape it, was Serenia. I asked what she was. She answered only with images of stars collapsing, light spilling into void, and then herself emerging as if born from their remnants. A child of starlight, not of flesh. She asked about me, about Earth. I showed her memories. Oceans foaming against cliffs, forests breathing mist, cities glowing under rain. She tilted her head as if listening, then whispered into my mind. All of it is alive. But none of it is as you see me now. It was then the line slipped from my lips before I could stop it. No such wonder lives on my planet, I murmured. He stilled. Her gaze deepened, unblinking, as though I had revealed something forbidden. For a long breath she said nothing. Silence. Yet that silence was answer enough. But wonder is never free. On the 7th day, my guild beacon lit with an urgent signal. The orbital station had detected anomalies. Energy spikes pulsing from the canyon, threatening to destabilize the planet's crust. They ordered immediate evacuation. My vessel was to depart within 12 hours. Told Serenia. Her expression remained unreadable, but the air around her seemed to dim. The crystals are my breath, she said. They awaken because you have touched them. Guilt struck me. My drills, my scans, perhaps my very presence, had disturbed something sacred. I offered to stay, to help. She shook her head. You are not of this world. Its ending is not yours to carry. But I could not leave her. Conflict. That night, tremors rattled the canyon. The crystalline spires throbbed with inner light, humming like colossal tuning forks. I watched fissures crawl across the ground, glowing with molten fire beneath. Come with me, I begged her. There's space on my vessel. You don't have to die with this place. Her eyes softened, and for the first time, I thought she looked almost human in her sorrow. I am not separate from this place. I am its voice. If I leave, it ceases to be. The ground roared, throwing me to my knees. A crystal column shattered, raining shards of light. She stood untouched amid the chaos, luminous strands of hair lifting as if in unseen winds. But you must carry me in memory. Speak my name when the stars feel empty. That is survival enough. No, I shouted above the quake. Not memory. You're more than a story. I reached for her, reckless, breaking every code of contact. My gloved hand brushed her arm. For one impossible second, she was solid, warm, like touching the heart of a son. Her eyes widened, surprise flashing. She hadn't expected me to feel her. The quake split the ridge between us. Fire and crystal erupted, blinding white. She stood on one side, I on the other, the canyon devouring itself. Through the roar, her voice threaded my mind, quiet, resolute. Now you know why I was silent. And she was gone. The ending. I woke aboard my vessel, alarms blaring. Somehow I had dragged myself back through collapsing terrain, though I remembered little after the canyon split. Kephara IV shrank behind me as I launched into orbit. Moments later, the planet fractured in silence, 1,000 shards scattering into the void. The guild registered the loss as another failed survey. Unstable geology, nothing salvageable. To them, Kephara was dust, no more remarkable than any other world lost to cosmic violence. But I knew the truth. In the nights that followed, I found myself murmuring her name into the dark. Serenia. Sometimes I felt a faint warmth brush my skin, as if her memory had answered. Sometimes I dreamed of silver hair drifting in starlight, of eyes that held oceans. The line I had spoken once returned to me, echoing across all the silence that followed. No such wonder lives on my planet.